Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to begin with our Environmental Studies Part 2, that is History. In this, you are going to study the journey of mankind from the primitive to the modern man, that is from Homo habilis or Stone Age man to Homo sapiens sapiens. You are also going to study the formation of the earth, beginning of life on the earth, the animal world on the earth, then about Stone Age tools, how did Stone Age man live, what did he eat, how did he learn to do farming, and so many interesting lessons. In short, you are going to learn about evolution of mankind. That is why your Evs Ii textbook name is How We Came to Be. Now, let's begin with our lesson number 1. What is history? History is a science that tells us about events in the past. Last year, in Standard 4th, we studied the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his mission of establishing Swaraj. The time before the birth of Shivaji Maharaj was about 400 years before now, or in the other words, the time 400 years ago. For our convenience, we divide time in different ways. Often we use words like now, some time ago, after some time, or today, yesterday, tomorrow, or this year, next year, etc. When we use these words, we are actually measuring time in our minds. Now, today, and this year are terms that indicate, means tells us the present. Some time ago, yesterday, and last year are terms that indicate the past. After some time, tomorrow, and next year are words that indicate the future. The time that has already gone by is the past. The time that we are in now is the present. The time that is yet to come is the future. You all have studied about this in your English grammar. You all know what is past, what is present, and what is future. So, the time now which we are living, this is present, and the time that has already gone by is the past, and the time that is yet to come in the future is the future. The time gone by between today and the day of your birth is your past, the past in the life of a person. So, the science that tries to understand past events, means whatever had happened in the past, is called history. The past includes many events that have already taken place. For example, your birth time. That time you were a baby. And now, if you are 10 years old today, it means that the event of your birth happened 10 years ago in the past. Similarly, after 10 years from now, that is in future, you will be 20 years old. It means the time gone by between today and the day of your birth is your past. The past in the life of a person. So, The science that tries to understand past events is called history. In standard 3rd and 4th, as a part of environmental studies, we have become acquainted, means familiar, with various sciences like physics, chemistry, biology, earth science, space science or astronomy, and many such sciences are there. These are all branches of sciences. The special characteristic or quality of all these sciences is that their facts means truth or evidence means proof can be tested in experiments which can be repeated, means we can repeat it many times, anywhere or anytime. The method of using a number of different tests to determine means to fix whether the evidence that proof is reliable is called the scientific method. There are many things that happened since our birth that we may not know about. But our grandparents or parents or others often tell us amusing stories or interesting stories of our childhood. Those stories are a part of their memory. However, when different people tell us about the same event, we find differences in their narrations. It means whatever happened in the past, in childhood time. So, different people, they narrate that story in different way. It makes us wonder which one is right. We need to examine the details of each narration carefully to decide the correctness of the fact. But it is not possible to conduct experiments like other sciences or to recreate the events that have happened in the past. Therefore, the method of presenting history is different from that of other sciences. Even so, history uses the scientific method at every stage, namely while looking for or collecting evidence, means while collecting proof or examining the evidence to check that proof, and while putting it together, when required, help is also taken from other sciences. That is why history considered to be a scientific discipline. History is not written solely on the basis of imagination. It means whatever we think, whatever we imagine, on that basis we cannot write history. And that is why history is considered to be a scientific discipline. Then how do we come to know about history or event that had happened in the past? History is mainly written on the basis of three sources. They are material sources, written sources, and oral sources. Ancient objects like structures, sculptures, then pots, coins, these are called material sources. Through these material sources, we can understand the progress of mankind in history. Stone inscriptions, copper plates, books, manuscripts, that is handwritten documents, or songs are all called written sources. Traditional stories and songs remembered over many generations are called oral sources. Dear children, there are many examples which come under material sources, written sources, and oral sources. So all these are the sources of history. It means sources of history are of three types: material sources, written sources, and oral sources. In order to find out what happened in the past and how it happened, evidence means proof available from all these three sources is collected and thoroughly means completely or perfectly examined to determine its reliability. With the help of the evidence that stands these tests, past events are put in a proper sequence and a historical account is written. This is the scientific method. It means after testing the evidence perfectly, past events are put in a proper order to write down the history, and this is called scientific method. The remaining part of the lesson we will be learning tomorrow. Till that time, complete your worksheet in your notebook. Thank you.